Remy is in the hospital again, but this time it's not from stress, stage lights, or studio drama. Instead, we're talking about bruises, blood, and a fierce beating that shut down the entire party. According to sources, Claressa's shields attacked Remy so viciously that it sounded like thunder and stilettos. The wall shook, the DJ cut the music, drinks spilt, and Papoose just stood there frozen, as if he had forgotten which woman he had come with. How did it go from champagne to chaos, from cupcakes to combat, and was Remy simply trying to reclaim her man in front of everyone? Or was this pure ego gone nuclear when she saw that the focus had shifted to the true champion in the room? Because when Claressa allegedly dropped the gloves and threw hands, it wasn't for sport, but rather for dominance. There were no rules or rings, just rage and revenge, and a right hook so clean that it sent Remy flying through the prawn platter. The worst part is that the footage was leaked, and it's worse than Love and hip-hop reunion nights. We've snatched acrylics, broken security, and thrown aside like extras and Remy. Let's break down this catastrophe from the ground up. It began with what was supposed to be a laid-back evening, a private party hosted by none other than Mr. Royalty himself, Papoose. The theme was new beginnings, and the irony was that by the end of the night, someone was starting a new relationship with a hospital gurney. This is not a gossip story. It's a scandal on steroids, a heavyweight war of words that turned very physical, and trust that the streets of hip-hop will never recover. Swollen jaws and allegedly broken ribs, let's the tumultuous love triangle that set the stage for this catastrophe. Remy Ma, the bronze battle rap queen and recent attention getter, has been on the rise ever since Papoose became overly at ease with Olympic gold medalist and two-time world boxer Claressa Shields. If you thought the tension between these women was mild, there are several reports that claim that some invited others who showed up at the party with ring lights and that Remy entered wearing all red. The moment she saw Claressa wrapped around Papoose like a satin sash, her smile disappeared faster than DJ Envy's credibility. But this is where things get messy. It turns out that Remy had been pleading with Papoose to cut off Claressa behind the scenes. There were screenshots, voice notes, and even rumors of a burner phone that Remy used to track Papoose's location because she swore he was spending training time with Claressa at strange hours. If you recall, this isn't the first time Ray's G flashed back to last month, when she allegedly threw a glass of Mosquito at Claressa at an industry brunch, shouting, "She can box, but she can't bake." The entire place smelt like peaches and pettiness, so this party wasn't a celebration. Rather, it was a countdown to combustion. Insiders claim that Claressa didn't arrive at the party without anything, though, as she brought her title belts, a flashy little necklace that said Mr. Shield pose in diamonds, and her entourage. According to one anonymous guest, whom we'll call Bottle Girl Brenda, things began to fall apart immediately after the second round of moat. Remy continued to stare at Claressa as if she were the last boss in Mortal Kombat before she got up, walked over to the DJ, whispered something, and then abruptly leaned back and began playing loud music. Oh, Remy's sympathy level certified. Claressa, who was drinking her drink with her pinky out, turned around, grinned, and allegedly muttered, "She's sty," Emma yelled, "Your ex-husband, let's not confuse paperwork with possession." Claressa calmly put down her drink and said, "Your ex-husband, let's not confuse paperwork with possession." Then with a finger-pointed, wick-tight voice, cameras were out in seconds, and Papoose was nowhere to be found. "You think you're going to parade around with my husband like this isn't my city?" Then, boom, a red velvet cupcake frosted to perfection. According to another anonymous source, who may have been the DJ himself, Claressa moved like a panther and jabbed like a demon on espresso. Remy apparently came in swinging and landed a slap so loud that it silenced the room, but baby Claressa responded with the left hook that sent Remy flying into the buffet table. It was the opening bell. Partygoers say they had to literally pry me off the carpet while she kept mumbling, "I'm fine, I'm good. I just slipped." Girl, you slipped into a coma of regret. That's what you did. By the time someone yelled, "Call 911," Remy was on the floor, dazed with frosting in her braids and rage in her eyes. After knocking over crab legs, shrimp cocktails, and one very unlucky birthday cake shaped like a boxing. For heaven's sake, Claressa was completely unharmed and even posed for a selfie with two emergency medical personnel. One of them reportedly asked her to sign a boxing glove. This wasn't just a fight. It was a PR disaster, a viral eruption, and perhaps the most insane celebrity beatdown since Solange in that lift. And guess who arrived after the ambulance left? Papoose, wearing a velvet blazer, was chewing a chicken wing as if nothing had happened. When asked where Remy had gone, someone And oh, it gets worse because that was just the beginning, so let's pick up where we left off. Ray's stretcher had barely hit the back of the ambulance before the internet exploded within 17 minutes. Hashtag Claressa was trending #1 on X, formerly Twitter. One user tweeted, Randa said, lean back. Legit down, Claressa said. A meme of Ray's face was photoshopped onto a WVOD folding chair and shared by someone else with the statement, this is what happens when you square up with an Olympian. But while the memes were flying, something much darker was brewing in the background because just hours after the brawl, a 20-second hospital hallway clip leaked. We don't know who recorded it, but based on the angle, the shaky camera, and someone whispering, girl, that's her zoom in, we know it was real. The footage showed a Ribe wheeled in, face covered, arm in a sling, and what looked like a rolled ankle from landing in the crab legs tray. And here's the twist, she was screaming. According to the leaked audio transcript, she allegedly yelled, you all better not. I promise I'll throw hands with her whole camp and pursue charges if she comes close to me again. But while Remy was causing trauma in the emergency room, Claressa was exuding calm on Instagram, sharing a picture of her flawlessly manicured fist with the caption, didn't even break a nail. Hashtag training never stops. The pegness was off the charts. Celebrities were going crazy in the comments section, saying things like, Snoop Dogg, you all better stop playing with real fighters. This is the reason I stay in my lane. But while the public was laughing, Remy's camp was incensed. According to an anonymous source close to her stylist, Remy is considering legal options because she feels betrayed by Papoose and is attempting to have Claressa banned from any events she attends. She is allegedly demanding an immediate restraining order, medical reimbursement, and an official apology because it seems like even seeing a boxing glove now triggers her. However, let's go back a bit because some of the most scandalous developments occurred after the hospital footage was released. On the Shank Parade, a fake internal ailment complaint went viral. According to some reports, Remy requested a private room, but when the nurse informed him that they were all full, she allegedly growled, I ain't sharing a room with anybody unless it's my man, and he doesn't even want to share a house with me right now. He also suffered a minor shoulder dislocation, 2 bruised ribs, 1 chipped acrylic, and, quote, a deeply bruised ego and possible PTSD from the seafood buffet trauma. In addition, Papoose has been quieter than DJ. Envy when someone mentions real estate. He allegedly went back to the party instead of hurrying to his wife's side at the hospital and took a shot of DUS and began freestyling. Yes, freestyling was captured on camera by an attendee, and Claressa had to check her slash. I told them to chill, but when the cake hit the stretcher, the crowd cheered, who freestyles after their wife gets sent to urgent care? The following morning, Claressa went live on Instagram, looking absolutely stunning in a silk. Don't start fights, but you didn't sure finish them, she added. I didn't even want to go there with her, but when someone calls you a side chick and throws food in your face in front of 150 people, yeah, I had to remind her what the hands do. Meanwhile, Ray's camp attempted damage control, and her publicist issued a bland statement saying that Rayma is recuperating in a private setting and appreciates the support she's receiving. She has no comment at this time, but that didn't stop some insiders are speculating that Remy may attempt to file charges for assault and public humiliation, while others say she wants to sue Papoose for emotional distress. Additionally, there is a particularly shady claim that Ray is already discussing filming a Do series called Fists and Faithfulness, which is the story of Remy's redemption arc. You guessed it, Mona Scotty Young is rumored to be narrating it. Let's not forget the fans who have been engaging in Olympic-level trolling. One user set up a GoFundMe with the title, Help Remy Rebuild Her. While the internet is having fun, the real damage is just getting started. According to reports, Ray's scheduled appearances are being canceled one after another. A makeup brand she was about to collaborate with has halted negotiations, and fans are threatening to show up at her next show wearing boxing robes and shouting ding ding. Meanwhile, Claressa is busy and isn't bothered at all, even tweeting. Edges is selling Claressa clapback t-shirts with a silhouette of Remy flying through a cake, and the shirts sold out in 2 hours. Showing a slow-motion highlight reel of her making a joke with the caption, protect your neck, even at parties. However, there is one person we haven't heard from yet, and her silence speaks louder than the punch itself. That's right, remind yourself that there will be no interviews, tweets, or Instagram Live, just hospital curtains and rumors that she's planning something big, like a lawsuit, a press conference, or a diss track with Easy the Block Captain. We don't yet, but one thing is for certain, she isn't taking this lightly. Now that we've reached the point where the glitter wears off, the bruises heal, and the fell-out hits like Remy did at that dessert table, the industry is no longer laughing. According to insiders, several major sponsors have begun to distance themselves from Remy. A podcast deal has been shed, a rumor campaign involving the has been quietly canceled, and her upcoming reality show pilot, ironically named Remy Reloaded, is now in limbo. Following producers' concerns that she could seem too erratic and unstable on camera, tennis-style paparazzi video of Remy being carried out of the medical center at 3:14 a.m. appeared. While she was shielded from questions by her hooded shades and her security, one reporter yelled over the commotion, "Remy, did Claressa ruin your marriage and your MERS?" She didn't answer, but what did leak was a voicemail purportedly left by Papoose only hours after the altercation. Have a transcript, and it's devastating, Rem. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't think it would get this bad. I told you to calm down, but you didn't listen. Claressa isn't just any girl, she fights for a living. You knew you were going into a fight with heels on. Unashamed. Call me when you're thinking straight. Not only did Rem lose a fight, but it sounds like she might have lost her man. Her legal team is currently working nonstop. Claressa's response was a forward statement via her publicist telling her to train woo. This is where things get even wilder because behind the scenes, there has been talk of retaliation not in the streets but in the studio, where producers close to Remy say she's already working on a diss track. The documents claimed that Claressa showed a willful disregard for Remy's physical safety and that her actions were purposefully humiliating in front of Ray's peers, fans, and potential collaborators. A line that leaked reads, "I gave you bars, gave you gold, / she gave him jabs. Now she thinks she's bold." The record, which is allegedly called Hands Off the Throne, is said to contain subtle jabs at Claressa's career, Papoose's royalty, and even a full verse dedicated to snakes and silk robes with sucker punches. Meanwhile, Claressa is unconcerned, as rumors have it that she has been approached by 2 fitness companies to launch her own hand-certified boxing program, which emphasizes the according to an anonymous source. The New York City Council is looking into the location where the fight occurred, citing a lack of crowd control, no security protocol, and an inability to defuse a high-profile altercation. One councilwoman reportedly stated, "This isn't just about celebrities behaving badly, this is about public safety." Someone could have been seriously hurt. The show is called Fighting for More, and guess what? Episode 1 is called Party Foul. Aside from Ray's pride, there is even a popular petition called Ban Claressa from Parties, which has amassed over 92,000 signatures and aims to protect wigs, wings, and wine glasses across the country. However, the situation gets more complicated because there are now rumors that Papoose is moving out of the shared house he once shared with Romeo after a neighbor allegedly saw a U-Haul van pull up at 6 in the morning. And soon after, boxes marked studio equipment memorabilia and Pat's hoodies were seen being hauled in. Rain is apparently staying at her. What about the one thing no one wants to talk about, but everyone is thinking? Is Papoose choosing Claressa? Well, nothing's official, but their chemistry at the party was very real, and a new Instagram story from Claressa shows her cooking in the kitchen with the caption, "Making breakfast for in just 48 hours." This went from minor side-eye drama to full-blown chaos. The question now is, will Remy recover with a vengeance or fade into meme history as the girl who caught the cake in her hands? Will she finally speak up, or will they just keep wrapping his thoughts while women fight over him like he's the last man in the Bronx? Will his career be affected or only? We might not have all the answers, but we do know that no one is leaving this clean, not in terms of reputation, not emotionally, and definitely not physically. This party was meant to be a calm get-together, but instead it devolved into an unofficial, undefeated rematch of ego against ego, and just like that, a cupcake turned into a weapon, a champion became a threat, and a rap legend became a patient. Now, we turn to you, our fellow truth seekers, gossip addicts, and detectives who love drama. Let's not pretend that this story is over. There are still more leaks coming, more tea steeping, and trust us, the next chapter in this saga is already being written. Who is the villain? Who is the victim? And is it even possible to select a side when everyone involved seems messier than the frosting splatter carpet? Was it Rama, just a woman fighting for love, or a ticking time bomb that finally went off in the wrong room? Was Claressa acting inappropriately, or was she defending herself with the same hands that created her legacy? Because in the world of Remy, Claressa, and Papoose, peace is fleeting but pettiness is forever. So please let us know in the comments which side you support. Should Papapoose finally take a stand? Should Claressa apologize? Should Rama sue? Or should he simply leave the country and start over? If you were astounded at least once during this story, hit the like button to stay up to date on all the shocking updates, and share this video with someone who vowed 2025 would be cool. You've been watching a Gossip Spill vibe where we don't just report the mess. We unpack it and analyze it. Then serve it with a 3-piece combination. Until the next time, wear gloves. Lock down at your company.